I suppose one should be clear from the outset that the NHS strike is not just a pay dispute, it's a test of political will. It's a test of professional identity and public patience. Up to 50,000 resident doctors, what used to be called junior doctors, are engaged in a 5-day strike, the latest in a series of confrontations between the British Medical Association and the Labour government. Behind the picket lines and pay demands lies something deeper, though: the fragility of a health service, strained to its moral and operational limits. And the BMA is demanding a 29% pay increase, claiming this would restore real terms pay to 2008 levels. And they argue that successive governments have eroded doctor salaries while workloads and patient demand have soared. Doctors, many of them burdened with debts of over £70,000 because of studies, now find themselves earning less per hour than the medical assistants that they supervise. Wes Streeting, the Health Secretary, calls the strikes reckless. He claims the government has already awarded a 28.9% uplift over the past 3 years and warns that further demands are financially unsustainable. NHS England says the strike could delay 1.5 million appointments, with hospitals scrambling to rearrange cancelled procedures within 2 weeks. But this is not just about money. It's about morale, status, and a long memory of neglect. And for many doctors, this is about dignity. And I think the doctor shouldn't be so much looking at the people who they supervise. They should be looking at the bureaucrats who are hidden behind walls, the bureaucrats in NHS England and so on, all of whom are paid significantly more than the junior or resident doctors. Streeting has hardened his tone. He's warned NHS leaders not to make strikes pain-free for the BMA, a phrase that has provoked legal threats and cries of betrayal. Resident doctors who strike may be denied lucrative locum shifts or even face delays in career progression. The BMA claims this skirts the edge of blacklisting. And Sir Keir Starmer has intervened too, not to mediate but to condemn. He warned that the strikes choke off recovery and will lose public support. And indeed, polling suggests the tide is turning. Support for the doctors has dropped from 59% in 2023 to just 34% this month. And the government is betting that public frustration with waiting times, with delays, with disruption will erode sympathy for the doctors. That may be politically convenient, but it doesn't solve the problem. The immediate impact is undeniable. Elective surgeries are postponed, outpatient clinics cancelled, cancer biopsies delayed. Even where hospitals are managing to keep 95% of services going, as in the University College hospitals in London, it comes at a great cost, with consultants cancelling leave and pulling double shifts. Derogations have been granted for neonatal intensive care and emergency departments, but the system is creaking. And the ethics of this crisis are murkier than they seem. Should doctors strike at all, knowing lives may hang in the balance? Should a government with a mandate to rebuild the NHS treat its frontline staff as saboteurs? Doctors say they strike because the system is already unsafe. Poor pay, they argue, leads to poor staffing, burnout and resignations. And when medical assistants are paid more than qualified doctors, something is grotesquely wrong. When bureaucrats are paid more than the people who are on the front line, something is desperately wrong. This isn't just a negotiation breakdown, it's a symptom of institutional malaise. And the problem is you can't get rid of people who are employed by the NHS. So if somebody is overpaid by the NHS, if there's a bureaucrat overpaid by the NHS, let's say in NHS England, let's suggest by some turn of fate you want to get rid of the whole of NHS England. Well, the terms of employment mean that everybody in NHS England must be re-employed by the NHS in some form. So this is just a theatrical sleight of hand. Oh, has it been performed by Wes Streeting? Yes, it has. And what we've got is a lot of people, a lot of bureaucrats, a lot of pen pushers who are earning far more than the doctors, the resident doctors, the junior doctors who are on the cutting edge, who are doing all the hard work. NHS workers are not commodities. Yet under both the Conservative and the Labour governments, they've been treated as budget lines to be managed, not professionals to be invested in. And make no mistake, if this dispute continues into the autumn, as many expect it will collide with consultant strikes, nurse ballots, and ambulance disputes. But do you notice a pattern here? The bureaucrats don't go out on strike, do they? Because they are paid handsomely. The snowball effect is real, and Starmer's hopes of cutting waiting lists before the next election may well collapse under the weight of industrial fatigue. There's also a quiet exodus. Increasing numbers of doctors are seeking work in Australia, New Zealand and Canada, voting with their feet, as one BMA representative put it. And the bottom line is, you can pay bureaucrats as much as you want, but bureaucrats won't sort out your cancer. Bureaucrats won't take your temperature. Bureaucrats won't look after you in bed. Bureaucrats won't clean the floors of the hospitals. The people who are actually doing the work, we are paying less than the people who are paper pushing and pencil prodding. Both sides of this dispute are locked in a battle of narratives. The government paints itself as a defender of the public. The doctors as defenders of a profession under siege. But the real casualties are not politicians or unions. They are patients left waiting, their families left anxious, their operations postponed, trust eroded, carers worried. This crisis will not be resolved by rhetoric. It demands honesty, compromise and leadership, not ultimata. Until then, the strike will go on and the NHS will limp forward, bruised, politicised and betrayed.